guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today we're going to do some air tool reviews for you. The first is a batch of CH air tools that most of them actually came with my 8-gallon compressor kit and a few that didn't. So to start things off, we're going to take a look at the half-inch drive. Now, you got to keep in mind that the ones that come with compressor kits are their bottom of the barrels. Okay, they are the low end. They're not the medium, they're not the high, or they're not the super high, they're the bottom of the barrel. And so anyways, this particular air impact, half-inch drive, it's got 4 settings on it for power. And yes, I do, by the way, know how to properly maintain, lubricate the tool with the proper fluids, etc., etc. So I'm no stranger to air tools. I've been around air tools for many years. Anyhow, after about a half a dozen or so uses, it got really weak. It wouldn't even pull off a lug nut anymore that was on with 100 foot-pounds of pressure. And that got quite disturbing, because when it was brand new, it had no problem whipping those things off like there was no tomorrow. But after about half a dozen or so uses, it really struggles bad. And in fact, the last time we tried using it, it wouldn't even pull the lug nut. It's so weak. Now, I did take the tool apart to check out the insides, maybe thinking something's damaged. But the only thing I could find, but I didn't find any actual physical problems, is there's a diaphragm and gasket at the back. And now I am going to replace that when I get to it. I'm in no hurry. I've got an electric impact gun now that makes this thing look like a baby toy. But I would like to get this thing running up to snuff again. And just to see if, maybe it was a defect from the factory from the beginning with the diaphragm, or if it's just the fact that it's a bottom-of-the-line POS tool, which can happen. And I'm not saying anything bad about CH in the fact of their tools, because I've owned CH products in the past and have very good luck with them and never had problems. But it seems when you buy a kit system, at least this impact gun for me has been a problem, but not, like I said, not right at the beginning, but it started to develop a problem after only a few uses. So we're going to try fixing it, see what happens. If it fixes the problem and it runs good consistently for a whole whack load of runs, then okay, we'll be okay with it, and it was probably just the diaphragm. Otherwise, we're kind of a little shaky. But otherwise, it's actually a really well-built tool. They do build tools that, you can actually drop this and you're not going to hurt it too easily. It is well-built, and CH has been around for a long time. Now, the next tool we're going to show you is the air chisel hammer. Now, this, of course, is the low-end one. They have another one that's a heavy-duty version. This is the light-duty version. And I've had a lot of use on this tool, and I mean a lot. And this thing has really bailed me out a lot of times when I've needed to punch something out, when I've been working on a vehicle, and even a few other things that I've been, using it for punching with. It works good. These things can even smash bricks really well too. But for a low-end version of the tool, it's actually quite powerful. And, I have had it apart to do the, a good cleanup on it, relube everything, slap it back together. It does have a dial-in adjuster for adjusting the amount of airflow, so the more airflow you give it, the more power it's going to produce. Very good tool. I've got nothing bad to say about this, other than I wish it was the heavy-duty one. But you know what? Sometimes you got to have both tools, because the small one will get into areas that the heavy-duty one won't, because the heavy-duty one's a lot bigger. So, a lot of power and punch in this little guy. Now, the next thing we're going to show you, a tool that came with my kit as well, is this CH 1.25" brad nailer stapler gun. Okay, so it runs nails and it runs staples both. Real simple, easy to load system on this. Drop your nails in on either this side, or you can drop, okay, so it's only the one side, sorry. But you drop your nail strip in and close her up and away you go. If you got staples, put your rack of staples in, same thing, close up, ready to rock and roll. Just to show you how that loads, because I'm sure somebody's going to ask me, how do you load this thing? Let me just grab the... I have everything set aside in separate places here. Okay, so here's a strip of nails. And you just drop them in like that. And you're done. That easy. Okay. Now, see if I got some staples around here. Yeah, I got a row of staples here. Now the staples, you load them like this. Okay. Just like that. Close it up. So you'll have staple on this side and on this side. So, that easy. When you stop shooting staples or nails, pull her out, load her up again. So pretty simple and easy stuff to use. And the gun does a wonderful job. Now, you can run this thing up to 90 psi if you so chose to. They have some operating pressures here. Minimum is 60, maximum is 100 psi. So, and it works well with pretty much any air tank. Even a 1 gallon tank can actually run this. I've tried it and it does work rather well. Because this tool doesn't require a lot of CFM. Now, it is a good tool. It's pretty reliable. I've only had it jam a couple of times on me. It was real easy to unjam it. Just have to remove the 3 Allen bolts, pull the cover off, and you can unjam it pretty simple. Put it back together, and away you go, and you're off to stapling again. You can do an awful lot of stapling with this before it even kicks the compressor power back in to recharge the compressor tank. So that's that one. Really good gun. I really like it. The next thing is we've got this air blower. Nothing special about this. That's a CH branded one. I have another branded one too that I'm going to show you in another video. Actually, yeah, this one is CH as well because I got 3 of these. That's the newer 3H1 or CH1. Sorry. This came with a other kit that I bought, and really wasn't overly impressed with this one because I really like this one. It feels quality, you know. Plus it's got the screw out tip and it's not going to come off, you know. So this is a really good quality one. Hard to find those now for some reason. But this one, as you can see, pretty wimpy built. Okay, so I wasn't overly impressed, but it does still work rather well. This one, okay, don't get me wrong, it does work good. But this one is the bomb. A lot of usage on this thing. Never a hiccup on either one of these, actually. Neither one of them is giving me a problem, but just this one's kind of chintzier. You know what I mean? Okay, so the next CH tool we're going to go to here is a die grinder. Now, I have a 90-degree one, but I needed a, like I have the 90-degree angle. I wanted the straight one. And you can use this like speed control type of thing, you know, so you can run it slow or run it full tilt. It does hog a bit of CFM, but you know, even with the 8-gallon tank, 6-gallon tank, it's still going to run well for you. It just means your compressor is going to kick in sooner. So whenever your compressor kicks in, just shut it down, let the compressor recharge, and away you go, and you're off to the races again. And I've used this thing quite a bit. This I bought separately. It did not come with my kit. Okay, I had to buy this one separate. And it works great. You know, like I said, no hassles with this. Absolutely beautiful operation of this every time I use it. Now the other thing that you gotta have is a water filter. Now this is the CH version. It works great. I've used it a lot of times because I've done a lot of painting, which I actually have a paint sprayer that I'm gonna have to dig out here. But this thing does save your butt, especially when you're painting, because it prevents water from getting through the system and ruining your paint job. So very good. I can't remember offhand what I paid for it, but I did pick it up at Canadian Tire, and it is a Campbell Hosford one. You do have to put your own fitting on, so I had to buy a fitting for it, you know, for each end. But hey, you know what the heck? And it's got the little drain cock valve here, so you just twist it and close it back off. Away you go. Now the last of the CH stuff I have is the sprayer. Now the sprayer is actually really good. Even though it's a siphon feed system, it does work well. Okay, I've used it with automotive paints. I've used it with regular, what they call a stain paint. So It's much thicker than you know, automotive paint, and they do work great. Do not, and I must stress this, do not go past 30 psi with this thing. I actually had pulled an experiment, because this is actually my second one. If you go past 30 psi, you can actually damage this thing severely. And what I had done on my first one is I blew the bottom straight out. I had to bend it back in to reshape it back in. So, real bad thing to do. So, I actually run this one now usually at about anywhere between 10 to maybe 20, 25 psi, no more than that. And it does do good. It is a 2-stage trigger system, which is great too. I really like that. Everything's adjustable. You know, I can even adjust the angle, either vertical or I gotta do it the other way. See if I can, there we go. So it does move, so you can change your direction of spray the way you need it. And it does come with a little accessory kit with it, with another spray attachment, some other stuff. But very good sprayer. I mean, my first one, I did a lot of painting with it. It was still working when it finally, that was the end of it. Even though I did blow the bottom out of it once, it was still working good. It's just that it got so filthy dirty, there was just no way of cleaning it anymore, so I had to throw it out. And I did get another one, and so I'll be putting this one to good use eventually too. And eventually I'll replace it. And for a siphon feed system, not bad. Gravity feed, you know, yeah, they're a lot better. You know, I gotta agree there. But even siphon feed systems are actually really good. So that concludes our video of these CH tools that come with your machine. Now the only things, like I said, that didn't come with my kit was these 3 items here. These ones did not come in my kit. They were separate. That's a separate purchase. This came from a different kit. And this one was a separate purchase as well. And, you know, I don't ever regret using CH products. You know, even my compressor, I've used a sandblaster on it. I actually have a Husky sandblaster, which I'm going to show you in one of the videos. And it chews 9 CFM is what it wants, but it does run on a hell of a lot less and will do a really good job sandblasting, even with an 8-gallon CH compressor. So, you know, just because you may or may not have the CFM, don't be afraid to try it, because you never know. It might just work, you know, because sometimes they overrate the stuff, but sometimes they rate it, you know, where if you've got 9 CFM, it is going to perform optimally. If you have even more CFM on some tools, you can turn the pressure up to them without any hassles too. But watch the PSI level on a lot of tools, because usually when they say, you know, 90 PSI or 100 PSI or whatever, they mean it. You know, you should not go past it, but a lot of times you can. Just depends on the air tool. But anyways, that concludes this video. We will see you on the next one, where we're going to talk about Simona air tools, and then I've got another video we're going to do on another brand of air tool as well. So thanks for watching. Hey guys, okay, this is another CH tool, sorry, almost forgot it, that I have, and it's for, you know, putting air in tires, right? This one is actually, it's really nice because it's nice to hold in the hand, you know, you can just hold that and squeeze. This lets off pressure, so you can actually hold on there and let the pressure down. You've got this little push and lock system. Although it feels like a really strong system, it ain't. I actually find that, you know, it's fine to, because you have to push it down to put it onto the valve stem anyway. But you actually gotta hold it and force hold it in there and keep pressure on it, because this thing does not lock properly at all. It never has. So it's kind of a crappy system. One, the spring's not strong enough, and two, the little cutout they machined in there for hopefully gripping the threads just doesn't catch things right. So, you know, you're going to have to, you know, push and hold, and then, you know, you could probably let it go and keep pushing, but I always just hold it down and hold it in place and squeeze the trigger. And now as far as the PSI thing goes, do not rely on it. It's close, but I've been doing some gauge readings with it, because I have an air pig that I fill up too, and I go and I check the reading on here because I usually put the air pig to about 115 pounds. And this thing is out by almost 10 pounds. It's between 8 to 9 type of pounds. It's very close to being out by almost 10 psi. And so you got to watch it when you're filling up an air pig. When this thing actually clocks up and says 100, you're probably pretty close to about 110. You're actually about usually 1.6, 1.8, could be 1.9. You know, it's not the most reliable gauge, we'll say. But it is a good tool for filling air with. You know, when I'm filling up car tires usually run 32 pounds. So what I do is I bring it up to about 20 pounds, and I stop and I check it with a separate gauge. And I actually use a digital gauge because I find that the digital gauges are much more accurate than any manual gauge out there, because you can get a more precise PSI reading out of them in comparison to a manual gauge. And like I said, this manual gauge, it's out by as much as 10 pounds. So it's kind of, you know, type of things. Just be aware when you're using it, you know. Don't rely on, you know, setting it at 32 pounds and thinking you got 32 pounds in there, because believe me, you're going to have a hell of a lot more than 32 pounds in there. So, but otherwise, it is a good little tool, you know, but I wish they would have put a little bit better quality gauge system in it. I wish they would have made a better system for locking it on to the valve stem so you didn't have to hold it there. You know, the pin did actually bend on me once, and this got to be a whole mess, so I had to straighten that out and fix it all, and it's never messed up since, but you know, it's still, it's a useless little clamping system. Looks cool, but not functional. You know, and this is, I can't remember how much it was. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't expensive. But you know, if I was going to buy another type of air filler again, I think I'd probably go back to the old style brass knob system. You know, or I might even buy another one of these, who knows. Maybe I'll just find one that's much higher end, you know. Ideally, what would be cool, I'd have to actually see if I can find one, because I don't even know if there is one, but there probably is, you know, because I just don't do a lot of research on this particular tool. But I'd like to have one with a digital gauge, because that would be really accurate in comparison to this manual stuff. So I'm sure somebody makes one, and I'll have to do some looking into it and see what it would cost me. Because to me, tire pressure is very critical on cars. If they're overinflated, you can have a problem. If they're underinflated, again, you're going to have a problem. So you want to try and keep your air pressure balanced properly for your car and as precise as possible. So if all you got is one of these systems, or even just that brass head thing, look at investing in a digital tester. Now this one came with one of those air pumps that you buy in a kit, and this thing here measures it in PSI, bar, kilopascals. It's got like all different readings on it for what you need. And you know, but it defaults out at PSI on it, so you just plug it in, gives you your reading, away you go, you're done. You know, too simple. So I use this when I'm actually even filling my air pig too, not just car tires and bicycle tires. You know, so this thing actually works great. So if you get a chance to pick up any kind of a digital gauge, I'm sure just about any of them are really good, then you'll do a lot better that way than a manual one. And definitely not having to rely on the gauge on this one, because it's out by so much. But anyways, that concludes all the CH toys, and we'll see you in the next video that we're doing. But this was a little bit of an add-on to the video that I almost forgot about. So anyways, take care, guys.